Hey, what's up guys, it's Dynamite here, hope you're doing well. So we're literally like a month away from Fortnite Chapter 6, so I thought it'd be a good idea to do a tier list of every single season we've had so far. So in this video, I've ranked all 31 seasons from S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and then I also put another tier for like really bad seasons. And I feel like I've definitely got some controversial opinions in there. Maybe put certain seasons maybe a bit too high or maybe a bit too low, but obviously this is just my opinion. If you do enjoy these like tier list videos, I'd appreciate you guys drop a like on video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. I'd also appreciate you guys follow me over at twitch.tv/dynamitebtw. I did this tier list live over there, so if you want to see these videos live, I'd appreciate you following me over there. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so we got S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and absolute trash. So this is where the worst of the worst go. Literally, like, Chapter 5, Season 3 levels are bad. This is where shit like that's gonna go. So we got every single season from every single chapter. And, yeah, let's get into this. So starting off with Chapter 1, Season 1. I mean, the map was pretty bland. There's only a couple POIs. There's only a couple guns. I remember it came out and it had the Fortnite Mares update. They added Skull Trooper and Gold Trooper and the Pumpkin Launcher. It was a good season. There was a lot of bugs, I remember. You had the rocket riding as well, which was really fun. But it was pretty bland. Like, it wasn't amazing. I'd put it in B tier. It's very nostalgic. I only have, like, I only remember, like, 2 games I played from the season. I remember my first game ever on Fortnite was this season. I landed Salty Springs and I died to some, like, Gold Trooper who just found a shotgun off spawn. That's like one of my only memories from this season. And next we got Chapter 1 Season 2. So this is when they added the Battle Pass, and I would still say this is one of the best Battle Passes we've ever had. The Black Knight is such a good skin. And the map, this is when they added like Tilted, we got a ton of new weapons added, mini shields this season. It's crazy that the game didn't come out with mini shields. But we got a ton of classic items. I would honestly... I'd say S tier, but I don't know, because I feel like there's a lot of seasons I want to put in S tier. I'm going to say high A tier. The season was really good, but I don't know if it's like S tier, you know, it was good. This season, on the other hand, Chapter 1 Season 3, is definitely S tier. This is when I really started to grind the game. They added Lucky Land in the season. They had that heavy shotgun. They also added the guided missile for a bit. I think this is when people really started to play this game and it became like everybody was playing it. Like, this was genuinely such a good season. Everybody was watching Fortnite. Everybody was talking about Fortnite. I'd say the season is S tier. And obviously we had the, like, meteor in the sky, like, hyping up Season 4. This was a really good season. Next up, we got Chapter 1, Season 4. So this season, they added Dusty Divot, which I think was kind of a L map change. I really liked the factories and Dusty Depot, so Risky Reels was good, though. And the Battle Pass was really good. Omega was really good. Some of the guns they added the FAMAS that season. They did the Thanos mode as well, which was incredible. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, LTMs they've ever done. Really good. Again, I'd say S tier. I think this season actually deserves. I'd say S tier. I have a lot of fond memories of this season. I think Season 5 honestly had one of the best summers in the new desert biome. The cube going around, going in the lake might just be S tier. We could get on to Season 5 now. So obviously next up we got Chapter 1 Season 5. I have a lot of good and a lot of bad memories from this season. So I remember SMGs being, like, the drum gun was really overpowered. The P90 was really overpowered. Like, they did add some really good weapons like the grappling hook. Like, and Paradise Palms was really good. Lazy Links was really good. But the meta that season, I don't think people remember how bad it was. Shotguns did nothing this whole season. The bloom was insane on some of the ARs. The SMGs were just way too overpowered. So, I think it's a good season. I think the Battle Pass was a little bit weaker than the past few seasons, but I'd say A tier below Season 2. It was definitely a good season, though. Just had a couple issues. Now we got Chapter 1 Season 6, and I have a very controversial opinion. I think this season is S tier. The Fortnite Mares update, this is the best Fortnite Mares update they've ever done. We had like the Cube Island. They brought all the cool skins back. It was such a good update, man. It was such a good update. We had the zombies on the map, and I personally really enjoyed that. They added glider redeploy, like, for a bit this season as well. They added the purple and gold pump. They added the quad launcher. Such a good season. I really liked this season. I have so many memories. I remember I was, like, off school the week that the Halloween update came out. I was playing this with all my friends. Just such a good season, man. Really, really good season. And the Battle Pass as well, the Battle Pass was decent. I feel like a lot of the Chapter 1 seasons are going to be pretty high tiers, and then after that it's just, it'll be a mix of things. Next up we got Chapter 1 Season 7, and I think this season is probably pretty divisive, because I know people that don't like this season, I know people that like it. I personally didn't mind it. I didn't really like the, snow biome. I didn't mind it, but I didn't like how they got rid of Greasy. I remember the planes this season. People actually don't remember how overpowered and annoying the planes were. You'd be in the middle of a build fight, and a plane would just kill you. It was just so annoying, man. The sword, it was only in the game for 2 days, but the sword was very overpowered as well. Probably the best Christmas update we've ever had, though. The battle pass was really good. The map was really good. They added the hoverboard this season. I'd say A tier above. I put it above season. I maybe put it above season 2. Yeah, I'm gonna put it high A tier. I think it's a really good season, but there was some really annoying stuff. I've never heard of someone not liking season 7. I loved it. Planes were OP, but I sucked. So I fit in. I feel like, because I remember a lot of my friends back then were hating on this season, when it was the main season. I was pretty, I didn't mind it, but I wanted them to get rid of the planes. That was, my number one complaint that whole season. Next up, I think this is where Chapter 1 gets pretty weak, to be honest. We got Chapter 1 Season 8. I didn't like this season. I know people that love this season, but I think it was still good. It was alright. It was playable. I'd say low B tier, because I didn't like the map changes. I didn't mind Sunny Steps, but I didn't like how they got rid of Container Yard and Risky, because I always used to go Container Yard. That was my number one drop spot in solos. That's the main reason I didn't like this season. The Ballers were really OP. The Battle Pass wasn't very good. I remember this whole season I was playing Save the World. This is around the same time Apex came out as well. I was playing Apex and I was also grinding Save the World. I really didn't like this season, to be honest. And a lot of people love this season, but I don't know. I just remember it a certain way, and it's not terrible. That's why it's in B tier. I think it's still a good season in comparison to some of the later ones, but it's definitely not as good as these seasons, you know. And now we got Chapter 1 Season 9. I was having a lot of fun this season. I didn't really like Neo Tilted and Mega Mall. I didn't really know why they got rid of the original POIs. I thought they were way better. But the combat shotgun was really good. I remember they did a 14 Days of Summer event where they added a new mode and a new gun every day. Or they brought back a gun. Really good season. I remember, I think this was the season I got the most wins in or something. I was grinding this season. I've really enjoyed this season. I don't really like futuristic themes. I didn't really like the battle pass, but I played the shit out of this season, and I think for competitive as well. Obviously, the World Cup was this season as well. It was just such a good season, man. And this is when they started at Arena and everything. Such a good season. I know. A part of me wants to put an S tier, but the slipstreams as well. The slipstreams were really good. If anybody remembers those, I put it high A tier above season 7 actually. And now we got a very controversial season. We got Chapter 1 Season X. And let me just say, to begin with, I hated this season. The mechs were overpowered as fuck. You had those areas on the map where you couldn't build, or there was just some funny shit going on. But near the end, it got better. I remember they got rid of the mechs near the end of the season for a couple of weeks. They brought back Greasy, they brought back Moisty, they brought back, it was called Starry Suburbs. That place was really good. Obviously there was I think the loophole that season was okay as well. We had the pump, but The mechs really just ruined the season. I remember I went back to Apex this season because the mechs really did just ruin it, and this is when all my friends stopped playing the game as well. I don't know. I'd put it maybe. I mean, I think the battle pass is probably one of the best battle passes we've ever had, though. I genuinely really like this battle pass. I put it. I'd say it's better than season 8, though. I put it here. I think that's fair. So that's chapter 1 complete. And I mean, you could tell chapter 1's pretty good because the lowest tier is B tier. So chapter 1, I mean, all the seasons were pretty decent. I mean, obviously we had some bad ones. Well, I wouldn't say bad, but like mid. But most of them were pretty good. Now we've got chapter 2, season 1. And a lot of people hate this season. I don't know a lot of people that love it, to be honest. And the main reason for that is the season went on for 4 months, and there was like no content updates besides a harpoon gun. The Halloween event, it was okay. I remember they added some zombies, and there was like the Storm King mode, which I thought was good. Winterfest was really good. We had like the snow map. We had like you could log in and get free stuff. I think it was a good season. I remember I was playing it a lot with my friends from school. Like, we'd literally go home and we'd all play. And one of my friends was on his phone. So whenever we would play with him, we literally got put in bot lobbies. This season was really good for videos because I could play with him and get like 20 kills and just put it in a video. So a lot of people don't like the bots. But for me, I mean, it was a lot of fun. So I'd say... I don't know, because I still think it's not a great season. I really liked the map, though. I think the map was really good. The Star Wars event was terrible. Like, there's no denying that. That Star Wars shit was terrible. They should have never done that event. It was so disappointing. I'll definitely put it above Season 8. I'd maybe put it... I don't know. I'd say... I'm not gonna lie, I'd say here. I think this might be controversial, but I think it's a high beta. It is a good season. Next up, we got Chapter 2, Season 2, and... Well... it's definitely going S tier, I just don't know where to put it. Yeah, okay, that's where it's gonna go. So, let me just explain. This season was amazing. The POIs, the Agency, the Shark, the Grotto, great POIs. The Mythics, the Drum Gun, the Scar, the Grappler, great Mythics. We had the season, I think, for 4 months. And yeah, there wasn't a lot of, content that got added throughout the season. But this season was genuinely incredible to begin with. So we were fine. Like, for the whole 4 months, I was really enjoying the season. Such good POIs. Such an incredible... This is probably my favourite map of all time, I'll be honest. Probably, I'm so hyped for Chapter 2 OG, because I hope they do the full Season 2 map, because such an incredible map. And I know we haven't talked about live events yet, but the Travis Scott event, the best live event they've ever done in this game. So, for all of that, and there were some other reasons, I think, like, the Deadpool collab was really good. I think S tier. S tier is, like, such a good season. I had a lot of fun playing this with my friends as well. We were all stuck at home, obviously, because of COVID. So we're all literally just stuck at home, playing the season, grinding it out. I remember there was a skin you'd get, like, level 350 as well. So a lot of people were grinding it. Such a great season, man. I wish I could talk more about it, but I genuinely loved this season. Next, we got Chapter 2, Season 3. I think it was good. A lot of people might not like it because of the, like, flooded map and the sharks and everything. I do have a few complaints. I didn't like the charge shotgun meta because it was either use a charge or use attack. There was no pump this season. The sharks were a bit annoying. I didn't mind the flooded map because there was quite a bit of mobility. You still had like the helicopters, I remember. So I think it was a good season. I still did enjoy it. The summer vibes, like, obviously this was still during COVID. The vibes this season were really good. The battle pass was really good. I'd put it maybe... I'm going to put it low A tier. It was a good season. It just wasn't as good. It was definitely better than this season, I think. But it wasn't as good. It was nowhere near as good as Chapter 2 Season 2. Charge was arse, but besides that, I loved it. Which Agency? Yeah, that's one thing, actually. The Agency got replaced this season by the Authority. And it's nowhere near as good. It's not even close, genuinely. The mythics this season were pretty bad. I mean, there was a like unlimited chug jug that was good, but besides that, yeah, it was okay. Next, we got Chapter 2 Season 4, and I do want to put it maybe not S tier, but I'm gonna put it here. So it was very similar to Chapter 2 Season 2. The meta was really good. You started, like, they brought the pump back finally. The map, this is when they added Stark Industries, which was basically like Tilted 2.0. Really good POI. The Marvel Mythics were okay. The Halloween event was pretty good, to be honest. I actually didn't mind the whole zombie thing. I think it was really cool. Um, Not a bad season at all. I think the Galactus event was pretty underwhelming, but in terms of like meta and everything and the map, it was still a really good season. And the map and the Marvel Battle Pass was really good as well. I think these are like all the seasons which I'd consider pretty good. But I think the rest, every single season here, obviously not all of them, but I think this is where shit, like the quality really just went down in terms of like Fortnite seasons. So I think this is the first season which really changed how the game felt and how a lot of people viewed it. We got Chapter 2 Season 5, and there was a shit ton of collabs. The map was decent. We had like the whole sand biome. There was like a mix of Salty Springs and Tilted. The Coliseum area was cool, I guess. This is when they added like NPCs and like bounties. Um, it was good, but I remember there was like no content. There was literally like there was no new POIs or anything. That's what I remember from the season. I think the battle pass was pretty weak as well, to be honest. I did like the map though. I remember I played a couple tournaments this season. I did like the map. The meta was, I remember they got rid of the pump again, but this is when they added the lever action, so the lever action's really good. I like that, so it wasn't as bad as Chapter 2 Season 3 meta. Um, I'd say sand tunneling was a bit of an issue as well, because I literally had to disable it. It's so tricky, because there's so many, there was a couple good things, and then there's a couple bad things, but it's just like, I don't know how to compare it to, like, Chapter 1 seasons. Do we say B tier, maybe? What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking for Chapter 2 Season 5? Season would have been so much better if sand tunneling wasn't disabled and content was collab fest. Yeah, like sand tunneling wasn't even in it for half the season, and a lot of the content was just like collab skins. I don't know, because this is the season which really started this whole like collab every single week thing. Where do we put this? I don't know where to put this. I'm thinking high B tier, to be honest. I'm biased though, because my nephew started that season, so I played a lot because of it. I played a lot this season as well. I don't think I played as much as I did in the earlier seasons, because this is when like COVID came to an end, but I'd maybe put it, I'm gonna put it low B tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it above Season 8, but below Season X. It was good, but there was quite a lot of issues. And next up, this is probably the first season which is going it's gonna go D tier. So we got Chapter 2 Season 6. And I don't think this is the worst season. At the time it definitely was the worst season, but today's stand in comparison to the seasons we've had recently, it's definitely not the worst now. The meta was terrible. That primal shotgun, you had to like craft certain guns and everything. The makeshift guns were terrible. The map was terrible. They removed the whole desert area. They replaced it with like this like spiral tower. All the POIs were garbage. They added wildlife for some reason. The battle pass, I remember the battle pass being okay. I can't really remember any of the like content they added throughout the season. I think this is when a lot of my friends really just like went back to Warzone. This is when I started playing a bit more Warzone and like Cold War as well. So I'd say D tier. I don't really need to explain it. Just not a very good season. Next up, we got what people consider to be another really good season, Chapter 2 Season 7. And I thought this season was okay. People were saying the season was like S tier. I disagree with that. I think it's maybe A tier. I liked some of the alien weapons. The railgun was really good. The UFOs were a bit annoying. The battle pass was decent. The summer event this season was really good though, actually. And I remember they had this thing with the mothership where you could like go up and complete this mini game, and you get a ton of like really good loot for it. And the live event with the cube and everything at the end of the season was really good. Um, this season was, I'd say I put it here. Actually, I am tempted to put it above season. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it below season 4. It was a good season. I really did like the season. A lot of people hype it up. Low-key underrated. I don't know about underrated because I know a lot of people that really enjoyed this season and think it's a W season, and I think it's good. It's not S tier, but it is a good season. And to finish off Chapter 2, we got Chapter 2 Season 8, and this was basically Part 2 to Season 7. Now we've got the cubes instead of the aliens. And for a final season, just like Season X, I think it was somewhat underwhelming. You had like the zombie areas, like the sideways. The Halloween event this season though was actually really good. I can't remember. They had the combat AR, which was like it wasn't as good as the standard AR. Um, the map changes, they literally changed basically nothing. There was just these like orange areas, and they added like a pyramid in the middle of the map. But what does redeem this season though is the end event. I think the event at the end of season 8 is a genuine like contender for best event of all time. I wouldn't say it's as good as Travis Scott event, but the map flipping over was such a good event. I was so hyped when I saw that. I think that alone might save the season, but the season itself, I think, was pretty. I put it in C tier. I don't think it was a very good season. I think the like Venom Mythic was pretty good. That kind of like saved it, but I don't know. It just wasn't a very good season. And now we're getting to where shit gets really bad. So chapter 1 and 2, all things considered, were pretty good chapters. There's only 2 seasons which gone in C and D tier. This is where it gets really bad. This is like everything after that, well, besides like a couple seasons like OG season, this is where shit has got really bad. So we're definitely gonna have some absolute trash seasons, I think. So actually starting off though, we do have chapter 3 season 1. And I'd say this is the best season of Chapter 3, and it's not even close. The map was incredible, the Battle Pass was incredible, the guns like the MK7, the Stinger SMG, the meta this season was so good. Like, yeah, it was mainly a like SMG focused meta, but the map, they added Tilted back. I remember the Spider-Man web shooters. This was such a good, I'd say this is the best season 1 we've had. This was like the best start to a chapter, and I'd low-key put it, I'd say here. This season was really good. Such a good season. Such a good start to the chapter as well. This made me really hyped for the rest of the chapter. Oh, and the Winterfest event was incredible this season as well. And now we've got Chapter 3 Season 2, which it was like focused on like war, I remember, and they removed building and then they added zero build, which was good. But I remember they had like the tanks, they had the blimps, and that shit was just like really annoying. I put it I put it high C tier. Actually, no, I put it below Chapter 2 Season 8. I think it was okay, but it just I don't know, certain things like the tanks and like the blimps and the map not really changing too much. The end event was good for this season. I remember like the robot event, that shit was good, but the season itself, though, and the battle pass was actually terrible. This battle pass was horrible. And now we've got Chapter 3, Season 3. And guess where this is going? Guess where? And you want to know why? This is, I would say, probably one of, if not the worst season they've ever done. There was like I remember when they started this season, they added like the reality tree area, which was like kind of mid. It was like a mainly DMR meta. They got rid of all the good guns like the MK7. It was like the shotguns were really bad. The SMG, they had like the charge SMG. Besides Darth Vader being in the battle pass, it was like it was pretty bad, and nothing changed this season. Literally nothing changed this season at all. I remember they added like a 1 POI, but this was a really bad season, I think. People don't remember how bad. Like, I can't even describe it too well because the season was just boring and there was just nothing going on. It was like the season was called Vibin, and it's like they genuinely just stopped updating the game for 3 months. Like the developers were the ones vibing. Like it was really bad. Terrible season. And next we got Chapter 3 Season 4. And I think this season was a bit better than Season 3. Like, a tiny bit. I'll put it, I'd say it was better than Season 2. But I didn't mind this season, you know. Like, it definitely isn't very good, but I didn't mind it. I think the chrome weapons, the fact you could, like, level them up by dealing damage was pretty cool. The map was pretty bad. Like, the chrome areas were just, they looked terrible. There was, like, all these, like, floating POIs. And the event at the end of this season was just terrible. I don't know why they did that event. It was terrible. It was, like, it was made in creative or something. The battle pass was good. We had like the paradigm skin. Like it was a good battle pass. The Halloween event was terrible. Probably the worst Halloween event we've ever had. So it's definitely maybe I'd put it. I don't know because this season. I think both of these seasons are pretty just not great. I don't know. I'd say they're both about the same though, to be honest. And now we're on to Chapter 4. So I think this season, Chapter 4 Season 1, was actually really good. I actually really liked this season. The map when this season came out, the Chapter 4 map looked incredible. It was like the best looking map we've ever had. The Thunder shotgun was really good. The like shockwave hammer was really good. The POIs were incredible. I've really liked this season. I genuinely really enjoyed the season. I don't know if it was as good as season 1 for chapter 3, but such a good way to start off the chapter, man. The motorbikes were really good as well. I've really enjoyed the season, and I'm a bit disappointed that the rest are similar to chapter 3. I don't think the rest of chapter 4. It was definitely better, I think, than chapter 3. I always say this. I think chapter 4 is better than chapter 3. It's not even close. But this was definitely one of, if not the strongest seasons of Chapter 4. Such a good way to start off the chapter. Now we've got Chapter 4 Season 2. And the meta this season, I don't think people remember how good this meta was. We had the pulse rifle. This is when they had like the Loot Lake Island as well. That'd spawn in mid-game. And if you captured it, you got the pulse rifle. Who remembers the Havoc pump shotgun as well? That shit would literally one hit you to the head in zero build. Such a good shotgun. Mega City was really cool. The battle pass was decent. I don't think they added too much after the season came out, but the way the season came out was incredible. But they did add ranked. I remember this season, and I always say this. I think Arena was better than ranked, so that's one L, I'd say. But in terms of like gameplay and meta wise, Chapter 4 Season 2, the perfect meta. I agree, like the pulse rifle, the Havoc suppressed AR was incredible in my opinion as well. Such a good meta, and it was a really fun season. I remember a couple of my friends started playing this because they saw the season was good and like, yo, I'll start playing Fortnite again. I would, low key, you know what? I'm gonna put it, low key, I'm gonna put it here because I think it's actually better than Season 1, and I had more fun playing this, I'd say, than I did Season 7 or Chapter 2. I actually really liked this season. Very controversial, people are going to hate on me for that, but I really did love... I think Chapter 4 gets a lot of hate for no reason. It was really good, besides this season, which we'll get to. And now we got what probably ruined Chapter 4. We got Chapter 4 Season 3, and I wouldn't say it's as bad as... I wouldn't say it's as bad as Vibin, but the jungle biome was terrible. The guns were terrible. I remember it was called like the Flatjack? I can't remember. AR. It was terrible. The jungle alone, I think, ruined this though, because you just have this massive like crater in the middle of the map, and all these trees which people can hide in. It's just like so much verticality. It's ruined the flow of the map. Before this, I think the Chapter 4 map was one of the best maps we've ever had. But this just did irreversible damage to it. Like this season, just a jungle biome alone ruined the season. It is absolute trash, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on that. And now we've got Chapter 4 Season 4, and I actually really liked this season. It did kind of, like, we started the jungle biome, which kind of ruined it a bit for me, but I actually really liked this season, and I'm gonna put it here. So let me explain why. So the first reason why I like this is because of the POIs they added. It was called like the Eclipse or something, is where that Kato Fawn guy hanged out. I really like that POI. You could get like old mythics, like you could get the Midas drum gun from the vaults. The meta, like I remember it was called like the Burst SMG or something. It had a scope on it. There was one AR. I forget what it was called, but there was an AR this season as well, which was really good. Such a good meta. I had a lot of fun playing it with my friends as well. And who remembers the Rocket Ram as well? That shit was so fun for mobility. I really enjoyed this season. I think the jungle, it's a bit annoying they kept the jungle biome. And at the end of the season, when they started hyping up the OG season as well, this was actually just I really liked the season. I know a lot of people don't really. I think the season's probably the most underrated season of Fortnite history, to be honest. I really did enjoy this season, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it. So now we've got one amazing season and four shit seasons. Okay. That pretty much finishes chapter 4, so this is our tier list so far, and I'd say it's accurate looking at it. I'm just quickly going over some of the choices I made. I'd say this is pretty accurate. I think I've been generous to some seasons. I think maybe I was too generous to like season 5 and like, I don't know, season 2 and season 4, but I mean, I'd say this is fair. Would you guys agree? I'd say this is fair. And now we got the OG season, the first one, because obviously we've got a new one coming out in a couple weeks. And it's going S tier. It is going S tier. This season was incredible. So this map, it was basically just a season 5 map, but it was an amazing map. Obviously, we knew the map. The meta was incredible. They added the grappler. Like, we had the shockwaves. You could use the new movement on the OG map as well, which felt incredible. We had, like, they updated the graphics a bit, which looked really good in my opinion. And they had zero build on this map as well, which actually worked, like, surprisingly well. And I think it's S tier because it just felt like old Fortnite to me. And not just because of the map. I remember actually getting on, like, after school or something. I remember I was doing work as well. I was, like, working in the store this season as well. And I'd get home from work and all my friends would be on and we'd play some zero build on the OG map. And it was nice to, land my old like drop spot container yard, which has always been my OG drop spot. And I was also playing a bit of tournaments this season as well. Me and my friend Baller, we were playing a couple tournaments this season. We got 1 point off of qualifying for a zero build tournament. I played the shit out this season, and I loved it. It was just, I want to keep talking about it because I think this is a really good season, the best season they've done in years. But obviously we have to move on. But incredible season. I'd say I'd honestly give it 10 out of 10. Such a good season. We've got chapter 5 now, guys. Oh no. I'm gonna just start by saying I want to put all of these in absolute trash. I think this is the one and only chapter so far that all of the seasons have genuinely been terrible. But obviously I can't just put all of them in absolute trash. I have to be fair. So starting off with chapter 5, season 1, and I think this is probably the best season out of the 4. The battle pass was okay. I didn't really like the map, to be honest, but it was better than some of the future iterations of this map. They changed the movement, like the movement animations look terrible. They got rid of the hit scan weapons, which, like, the weapons just feel terrible in chapter 5. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like Fortnite even to this day. They're more focused on making like Lego modes and like racing modes. Like the festival mode, if we're gonna count the festival mode, I'll put this in beta at least, but BR wise, like it just didn't feel like Fortnite. And I think this is the second season which I didn't complete the battle pass. The first season I didn't complete the battle pass ever was season 3 of chapter 4. Then I haven't actually completed a single chapter 5 battle pass because I've just stopped playing. I just went back to COD the moment the OG season was over. I didn't like the season, and I maybe put it above Primal because Primal, uh, I don't know, but yeah. Next up we got chapter 5 season 2, and I think this season was a very slight improvement, just very, very slightly. I'll put it above Primal, but it's still in D tier. I like some of the guns, like the Gatekeeper shotgun was good. The Warforged, whatever it's called, like the Golden AR, that shit was good. The weapons, they still didn't feel great though, because they just weren't hit scan. I liked the Mount Olympus area though. The Mount Olympus area was really cool. The whole like Greek mythology thing was cool. I think the item like the wings where you could fly, I kind of liked that. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was kind of cool. Um, I'd maybe put it in C tier because this season definitely was an improvement, but it's still just to me it just doesn't feel like Fortnite. That's the problem. Low C tier is fair. Yeah, I agree. I want to put all of Chapter 5 in absolute trash, but I have to be fair, you know. And next up, we got Chapter 5 Season 3, and it's the worst season of all time. It's worse than Vibin, I'd say. This is easily the worst season of all time. There's actually not a lot of reasons as to why it's the worst season of all time, but the main reason being just the cars. You could put like turrets, you could put like grenade launchers on the cars, and that alone, because everybody's, even in the current season, like it's still kind of happening. People just go around in cars, and like the car mods were just like, they just made it so overpowered. Everybody, they don't fight, they just hop in cars. I don't remember a lot of the guns. I think the whole nitro thing was really annoying. There was a thing called like nitro fists, which were really annoying. But genuinely the worst season of all time. I low key think besides Reload, because they added Reload this season, and Reload kind of saved it because I was playing Reload. But regular BR, there was just no redeeming. There was just no redeeming qualities at all about this season. It was a genuine joke, and it made me just not want to play this game ever again. And now we've got Chapter 5 Season 4, which is the current season. And I think the season, I'm mixed about it, to be honest. It's nowhere near as good as the original Marvel season, I'll say that right now. Um, I'd maybe, I'm gonna put it below Chapter 5 Season 1. And I like the POIs they've added. I like Castle Doom, but the meta, man, you got to get rid of that Captain America shield. The jetpack's like, if you don't have the jetpack, you are gonna lose. You shouldn't have an item like that in the game where if you don't have it, you're gonna die to it. It's just such a broken meta. They've been doing this a lot in recent seasons. Obviously, we had cars in season 3, and now we've had like shields and jetpacks. I don't know why they have these items, which is just way better than everything else. They need to stop because it just makes the game super unbalanced. Like, they brought back the AUG as well, but it has attachments and it's not hit scan, so it feels terrible. They did add a ranked to reload though, which I think is a W. The battle pass is also pretty good, but we're not going to talk about that event actually. We are going to talk about it because it was fucking terrible. That Doom event, it was like a 30-second cutscene, and then they just spawned in the same Doctor Doom boss from that POI. They just made a massive version of it and put it on the map. I actually logged on to watch that event because I thought it'd be something cool. It was, it was just so funny to watch because like his animations were lagging out and everything. It was so funny. But yeah, no, it's not as good as I think the first season was like playable. This season was also playable. This season was the most unplayable thing we've ever had, and this season, unless you're playing Reload, is unplayable. So, in conclusion, guys, that is my Fortnite tier list. What are we thinking? I'm going to screenshot that quickly. But, yeah, that is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, everybody's going to have a different opinion. You might say, fucking, I don't know, like, Season 3 of Chapter 5 is the best season of all time. I don't know. Everybody has a different opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, this is just my opinion, like I said. But, yeah, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and, yeah, see ya.